Hamish is my beekeeper buddy, and him and I are gonna open up the hive for the first time this year.
No, we opened it up earlier this spring.
Well, we did just peek to make sure they were alive, but we need to take it apart and look at some more things.
Okay.
We potentially should have brought the smoker out. We'll see. We might have to go back for it. And Freya's watching from over there. So here's our hives, and let's see how they are. So Hamish wears a full suit with his tall muck boots. I wear just overalls and a jacket. Marius has the same setup too. We all have the same gloves, and they're elk skin or goat skin or something like that. They're like really nice, soft leather, easy to work. So this is my getup, and it works well. Marius will often, because he doesn't necessarily have boots like this, he will tape his pants around his cowboy boots. No, let's move the feeder first. Hey Freya, could you go get us the bees feeder bucket from the mudroom? There's one in there. So we had fed them syrup and pollen.
There's a couple dead ones in there.
Yeah, there usually is. Okay, so they didn't really touch the pollen, surprisingly.
Open it up and see if it's dead.
Let's see here. Doesn't sound very noisy.
Let's try this one.
Yeah. Just lift up the insulation.
Nothing.
Oh no. They were alive and then we had a cold snap. I hope they didn't die.
You gotta take this thing off?
Yeah, let's take this thing off. Oh no.
No.
Oh, I think I still see. I don't know. Yeah, we're gonna need to pry this off. So this is insulation. It's not quite warm enough to take it off yet. You just pry this part off. But just the top lid off. Oh, I got a prickle in my boot. It's gonna be pretty stuck because it hasn't been open all winter. That is a very dead looking hive. Oh man.
Check the other one.
They were both alive when we checked them last.
Are we gonna get new ones?
Let's dig deeper here. This off? Can you take this off from your side?
This is heavy.
Yeah, we gotta pry it apart.
There's hundreds of dead ones down there.
Frick, that sucks.
What happened? They were doing great.
So when we checked them last, we fed them a thing of syrup and a thing of pollen. They were flying around, they were great. The bucket's full, the pollen's untouched. And we have a hive of dead bees. Oh, Hamish, what a bummer.
Try the other one?
I think it's probably the same fate. We'll pull it apart though. Oh.
How much does a hive of bees cost?
A nuke of bees costs $225.
Oh man. Well, at least they paid for themselves already last year.
Yeah, do you want to take that hive apart?
What do I put? Okay.
Just put it off to the side. Yeah, just leave it there, Freya. Yeah, that one doesn't sound very noisy either.
Noisy is the opposite.
Do you want to take her? Dead. Man alive! What the heck?
Ow. We don't know for sure if this one's dead.
I'd say I'd call her done.
Me too.
Ugh. Feel like the womp, womp, womp. Okay, let's cover them back up and let's see if Mr. Matt has any more bees for us.
Mr. Matt gave us these?
No, we got them from someone else last year, but... I feel a little demoralized. I mean, like, I was expecting them to die, and then when they didn't die, I was so excited, and now they did.
Like what? How did this happen? They survived all winter in one little cold snap that wasn't even that cold?
Well, I think the problem was it got warm, and they started getting active, and they came out of hibernation, and then it got cold. Ugh.
Is this bee?
You want to look for the queen bee?
Look, a stick. Right, they're not gonna sting you, but it's a good idea.
Man alive.
Come on, bees die. One sad little fly.
I'm pretty sure like those little bums in there were bees that were hatching. So they did have lots of brood that was hatching out. They had moved through their stores. I left them with 2 full boxes.
No, I think
Yeah.
you're looking for some honey.
Ugh. So many bees. So many dead bees. Yeah, they're just empty.
I'm not cleaning.
Like I fed them the second I saw them out and about.
And this is what we get for.
Ugh.
I can go that wrong. Like waiting for hours. Wow, that's a lot of bees. Love bees. Yeah.
Want to see what an entire hive of dead bees looks like in a pile?
Wow.
So many.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's this? So did it... Ugh. Great news, friends. There is 1 live honeybee. We just saw fly in there. Yeah. Not gonna get much honey from that.
Yeah. Less than teeth.
So I was talking to Christine of Rushing River Apiaries, and she said that bums out like that means starvation. And I'm like, okay, but I had a feeder here for them, and I had a protein supplement for them. And she said maybe it was just too cold and they just didn't have enough food left in the hive because the warmer weathers, we had like some warm stretches, so they were kind of out of hibernation, and then they would eat it up, and then it dips cold again, and then they kind of stay in a cluster and they won't venture out to eat, but they've eaten up all their stores. So here we go. One of our neighbors starts onions for me. Some of them got frosted on a really cold night in his greenhouse, and he lost some then. But now I gotta figure out where I'm storing these onions until I can plant them. I can't plant them until we have the garden together, so we'll see. Oh, and I see Marius is already, oh, Rowan is in a special mood right now. She should have napped and she didn't, and we're all paying for it. Marius hooked up the trailer because Clover's going to, I was gonna say the dentist. Clover's going to the vet. It's a vet who does farm calls, and because we're small potatoes, he basically won't come here. He's too busy. So I tag on to farmer friends, 2 different ones. If the vet's going there because he's an out-of-town vet, I just bring the cow there and the vet checks in the trailer. I don't know if Clover is pregnant or has cysts or is open and just has a wonky cycle. I don't know, but I'm having a hard time figuring it out. And this friend of ours has been trying to AI Clover. So he said, you know what? The vet's coming at 7 o'clock tonight. You come. So at the point when I would like to be getting ready for bed, I'll haul a cow to his farm. I showed this in Wednesday's YouTube video because, or sorry, Saturday's YouTube video. The last YouTube video before this one, I showed me making this, but then I was editing the video. This does not look very exciting, but it will be delicious. It's moose braising steaks and potatoes, and then I did some jam and mustard and mushroom salt for the sauce. I'm gonna quickly thicken up these juices though. I should have done it sooner. Actually, maybe I could still do it now. I just turn it back on high and add in some cornstarch and a bit of water. So I always lock her in the center divider here. My cows, she found some leftover grain. I didn't have to use grain. My cows load like good horses.
No.
Most of the time.
Steers don't.
Steers don't. Well, those aren't cows. I said my cows. Jessa here loads good too.
Those are cows.
Star we won't speak of. I wouldn't even try to load her. What's the soother? Soothers are for bedtime and baby. Hamish, could you not ride the cow? Yeah, Ham, could you help Frey get the goat in? Please don't ride my cow. So Clover had mud on her back, and I thought it was because another cow was maybe mounting her. And Freya pointed out to me that it could be because the boys were riding her. Although they're not supposed to ride Clover, and they do know that. They're allowed to ride Jessa. They're not allowed to ride Star or Clover. But it's one of those things with boys, I find instead of outright forbidding it, you have to find like ways you can channel their energy. So like, yeah, that's why they're allowed to ride Jessa, but not Star or Clover. Because Star's too small and flighty, and Clover, I don't think she's got a strong enough back, borderline. Jessa's as wide as a house. We got a Freya back there. Oh, and we got a Mac jumping in.
You got it on the...
No, you can ride on the way back.
No, he got last year on the way back from the quick school. Can I ride in the trailer?
No, you cannot ride in the trailer.
Then I get the next
Just
two turns.
kidding.
I get the next 2 turns then.
Smeagol! Okay, so we just saw the vet. He said she's not cystic, so that's a thumbs up. But he's not convinced she's pregnant. It would be 21 days tomorrow. So it's like kind of early if she took on the last one. But he's not convinced, like she doesn't feel like she's necessarily going to come into heat in the next couple days either. They can kind of tell by their CL, whatever that is. Anyhow, we'll see, I guess. I'm brushing Clover and I hear Rowan go, "No, Lily, you're my best friend. You're my best friend, Lily." Well, she decided to let the other goat out.
Lily is my best friend.
Yeah, well, your best friend needs to stay in her pen.
Lily.
We play this fun game now where the piglets just get out wherever they please, whenever they please. They're enjoying themselves, I see.
I like the blow bubbles. That's where I like the blow bubbles.
We're 22 days post AI. We got no new signs of her being mounted. This is from last time. She was mounted so hard it rubbed her bare spot. No egg white like mucus. No mud on her back or sides. So, I don't know. At this point is promising. Clover had a calf on January 13th, and with a service date of April 8th, that will put her to January 15th. So that will be pretty nifty. And I still got to get that heifer bred. I was hoping that heifer would have a calf in like November or December, but I cannot nail down a heat. I might end up doing cycle syncing using like Ludelays or something like that.